Please welcome to the stage, Mike Perrion.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. A little NBA bit coming at you. I hope everybody had a nice little weekend, whether you were taking in some foosball or getting out and about, or I don't know, maybe you're hoops only. Maybe you're a hoops traditionalist. And yeah, of course, man, anybody who is over in the West Coast, I know it's like calmed down a little bit. I hope you guys are all staying safe and are in a safe space, or loved ones that you have out there. Just wild stuff that does not seem to be slowing down. I mean, slowed down a little bit, but then I was reading something about winds. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Let's get into it though. We got a busy day today. We of course will have our little VIP stream a little bit later. We have live before lock. We have live after dark on SORARE NBA for a little elite fantasy hoops action. So a lot of stuff happening today. We had a lot of basketball over the weekend. Some dubs, some L's, some dubs and some L's. Who do we got in the chat? We got Sneeps is here. Happy National Clean Your Desk Day. Snoop, listen, I got into that a little bit this weekend, which was kind of nice. Also, I'm realizing somebody was in my StreamYard, my media assets. My assets look different, and I don't like it. I like this a little bit better. Minimal. There we go. Happy National Clean Your Desk Day. Who else we got? Joseph Dub in the chat. Oh, Cameron, what's up, Patrick? Happy birthday to Vasily Micic. We'd love to see that. Balatro. I don't know what that is. Smoke Zone. What's up, Matic Auto? Homies here. And there we go. Happy Monday from a member for the last 32 months. Coming up on a 3-year anniversary, Maddie. Love to see it. All right, let's do this. Let's get into this. We got a busy day. So I'm messing around here. Bang, let's do it. We're going to start with the Kangs. All right, they made the thumbnail. Listen, when they fired Mike Brown, I was like one of the guys on the internet being like, oh, is that really the problem? Was it firing Mike Brown? Is that why you guys are sucking at basketball? It was Mike. Okay, the Kings have been red hot. They are 7-3 in their last 10. I think we'll have won 7 in a row. On Friday night, they go in to Boston. They go into Boston. And I think what was so impressive about this win, 114-97 on the road, this was a tie game heading into the fourth quarter. It was a tie game, and they blew the doors off of Boston. Domantas Sabonis, 28 rebounds. 28 rebounds. Finished the game with 23 points, 28 boards. DDR, Dance Revolution had 24-9. Keegan's had 19. Malik Monk had 22-8. They did this one without De'Aaron Fox. Fox missed another game, although he did return yesterday against the Chicago Bulls. This huge win for Sacramento. This brought them up to 500. We'll take a look at the bench here in a second. Celtics just let go of the rope. They were getting beaten up down low so badly. You can see Tatum did have a double-double, 15 and 12, but Tatum, look, I don't know how many people watched this game. Maybe you watched over on Playback with Weisberg and Sneeps. Tatum looked terrible, and I don't know if Brandon Jennings is in his dome. Also, guys, I think I think we can all agree we don't need to respond to Brandon Jennings, right? That's like me responding to Dream Shaker on Twitter. You don't need to do that, Tatum. You don't need to do that. Brandon Jennings called you soft. Brandon, who cares? Who cares? He's putting Instagram posts like the softest player in the league. Like he's one of us. Tatum's one of us. But then he was really forcing stuff. I mean, he just was taking some tough shots. 8 turnovers is too many. We call that the Cade Cunningham in this house. That was too many TOs for Tatum. But yeah, they just let go of the rope, man. They weren't mentally tough there in the fourth quarter. And credit to the Kings, who again just like dominated from the paint. And then again, and we'll talk about the Celtics game against the Pelicans yesterday. Continued to shoot poorly from 3, 26% going 11 for 41 in that game on Friday. And that's all she wrote. So Sacramento gets this game. Then they play the Chicago Bulls, who, like, no one's terrified of the Bulls, but the Bulls are feisty. The Bulls play feisty basketball. Kings win this 124-119. They, as I mentioned, they got Fox back. Another solid game from Sabonis, who finished it with. Is that zoomed in too much? Finished with 22 and 15, 2 dimes shy of a triple-double. Fox in his return went 4 for 8 from 3, 4 for 5 from the free throw line, 26 and 9 in that game. Monk still 18, 9 and 8, almost a triple-double for him. Man, just like good stuff from Sacramento. So you see they are now 20 and 19. As I said, winners of 7 in a row. Also, shout out the Bulls here just for a second. Zach LaVine is doing his best to bring his trade value up. He's been on fire. I think he was shooting something like north of like 40% right now in the last this might be wrong. I might be just saying numbers now. Anyways, he had 36 and 10 in this game. Also, Lonzo Ball got the start here. They were without Ayo. They were without Kobe White as well. Lonzo got the start, played 26 minutes, knocked down 5 threes. Lonzo Ball back at it. But the standings. We're going to bounce around a lot today, but if we just quickly look at the Western Conference, the Kings now in the 9th seed, and they are a game and a half behind the Lakers. So after all of that, right? After all of that, again, egg on my face. These so bad. Mike Brown. No, the Kings now win 7 in a row. Doug Christie doing some massaging. And like you can make fun of some of their wins, right? It's not like they've had the toughest schedule of all time. I think it was the Hoop Collective with Brian Windhorst, Bontemps, and I wanted to say Tim Collishaw. That's not his fucking name. What's it? Tim McMahon. They were talking about how like all of these stars have missed games against Sacramento. Well, going on the road across the country into Boston, winning, beating the defending champs in the manner that they did, they get credit. Good win for Sacramento. We don't give the Beam Bros a lot of love. We make fun of them more than we give them love, but wanted to start the show off with them because, again, they've just been playing super good basketball. Let's do the Celtics here next because I wanted to talk about something else here. So Celtics lost that game, but let's take a look at the Pelicans weekend here. I'm sorry we're going out of order here, but no, I apologize. Let's do the Knicks. Let's stay in order. If we're making the assets, we got to use the assets. You know what I'm saying? So let's do Bing Bong. So the Knicks had a weird ass weekend. All right, the Knicks had a weird-ass weekend. They play Oklahoma City Thunder. OKC coming off of that loss against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and boy, did they take it out on Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks. They beat the piss out of them, 126-101, and they weren't really trying in the fourth quarter. You see, Shea only played 29 minutes in this game. No starter played more than 33 minutes. That was J-Dub. Shea in this game, what was his final line here? He went for 39 points. J-Dub gave him 19 and 5. And then Isaiah Joe, 8 for 11 from 3, 31 points. Holy shit. And a good win for OKC. Again, bouncing back after that tough loss to Cleveland. New York just got the shit kicked out of them in this game. And it was funny watching New York media or just, the internet freak out about this, being like, oh, they're not a serious team. The Knicks suck. Bing bong my ass. And then they turn around, and yesterday they give the same business to the Milwaukee Bucks, except this time they smoke them. I believe it was 140 to 106. Was that on Sunday? Excuse me. Yeah, 140 to 106. Giannis, by the way, is leading the league in scoring, and he is shooting 60% from the field. Isn't that nuts? Anyways, Giannis finished this game with 24 and 13. Dame gave him 22 and 5. But again, the Knicks won this one by 34 points, outscoring them 32-7. I mean, they won every quarter. It wasn't really a close game outside of the first quarter. Jalen Brunson, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he had 20 or 23 points in the first quarter. Just absolutely dominated him in 29 minutes because he left the game for a little bit of time. He's actually questionable in tonight's game. Left the game for a little bit, comes back in, goes 16 for 26 from the field, 5 for 10 from 3, gets to the free throw line 8 times. I believe 6 of those 8 free throws came in the first quarter. Finishes the game with 44, 6, and 5. And then you're like, oh, must have just been Brunson beating him up, right? So once again, guards getting lit up by Milwaukee. Not so fast in Lee Corso's world. Karl Anthony Towns, 8 for 9 from the line, 10 for 16 from the field. He goes 30 points and 18 boards in this game. Milwaukee is such a weird-ass team. And I can't figure them out, right? They get off to a slow start, and it's like, well, Giannis has been hurt. Dame has missed time. Chris Middleton had a bunch of surgeries. And then they start stringing together some W's, and we're like, well, they just got off to a slow start. They win the NBA Cup, which we know means so much to everybody. And then, let's look at their recent action. Again, let's pop over to the standings here for a second. Milwaukee now, they're 20 and 17. 37 games into the season. We're basically at the halfway point, right? 82-game season, correct? They're at 37 games through, and they are 3 games over 500, 5 and 5 in their last 10. They're basically a 500 basketball team. And I think because of how they started, our expectations for Milwaukee are a little bit different now because we're like, well, yeah, but think about how bad they were when they started. Yeah, but they're 5 and 5 in their last 10. This is a team that sacrificed future Andrew Holiday to bring in Damian Lillard, and since then, one and done in the playoffs, and now a 500 team. And you look at the teams ahead of them, like Indiana, all of a sudden playing really good basketball. I can't figure it out. Orlando, they're getting healthier. The Knicks, we just saw them win by 36. The Celtics, who have just been kind of playing, are still 17 games over 500. And then Cleveland, who we'll talk about here in a second. It's so weird for Giannis to be legit putting up MVP numbers this year. Let me pull up. I'm going to just rattle off his stats this season. Giannis this season is averaging 31.7 points, 11.9 rebounds, 6 assists, shooting 60% from the field. Although you want to know what's hilarious? What do you think his 3-point percentage is right now? 3-point percentage for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Put it in the chat. What do you think it is? We got Regulator in the chat. Regulator's here almost in time to talk about Mark Williams, which we're going to talk about. What do you think Giannis is shooting for 3 right now? What's his percentage? Chat's gone quiet. What do we see? Oh, we got, D Rose in. Let's go, Daniel. 11%, 22%, 18%. 18%. Incredible stuff. So I again, you get into a playoff series, best of 7, and you have Giannis and Dame. You're probably like, whatever, we'll be fine. I'm just saying we're halfway through the season, and this is the shit we're getting. Chris Middleton, just not himself anymore, one too many times under the knife. Bobby Portis is getting a little long in the tooth, same as with Brook Lopez. Snoop Loop says Bucks really are not a great team, but I'm not sure anyone. Yeah, exactly. Same point. I don't think anybody's thrilled to get them. Those are, yeah, shut up, Michael Kidd Gilchrist. Not Mike Zakarian, though. Mike Zakarian, solid follow-through. All right, let's keep moving. I wanted to let's go around the league, according to asset number 3. I wanted to talk about Celtics here. We mentioned the Kings game. So the Pelicans played the Celtics last night. Celtics win this one 120-119. Zion was back in this game. And the reason I brought this up, I wanted to talk about this game, is this happened during Live Before Lock. I'm sure you all know this by now, but during Live Before Lock on Friday, all of a sudden news break that Zion was suspended for 1 game because he was late to the plane. And again, reporting and rumbling after that is that it wasn't like, oh, Zion's always on time and then was late to this plane. And so we suspended him right away. It sounds like this has been an ongoing thing. What's Zion doing? What is he doing? Does he just not give a shit? Is that where we're at right now, where he just does not care, is not interested? Or because then he goes out there And the reason I brought it up, like, then he goes out there in this game against Boston, and he had a bad shooting night. 5 for 15 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3. But then, like, you look at his finish line, and he still finished the game with 16.7 rebounds, 3 assists. He had 5 steals and only 2 turnovers. So, like, I just don't understand what is going on, and if he is really just trying to get his way out of New Orleans. I don't know. I don't know if that's what he's trying to do or what, but he doesn't play the game on Friday. I'm going to save that game because I want to make fun of a team here in a second. But the Pelicans did get Trey Murphy back. DeJounte Murray, by the way, has been questionable before like every game for the last 3 weeks and has played in all of them. DeJounte finishes the game with 26 points, 9 boards, and 8 dimes. Trey Murphy got hot, 5 for 10 from 3. He had 30.6 boards and 4 dimes. But the Celtics, man, like Tatum was awesome in this game, 38 and 11. Porzingis with a double-double, 19 and 11. JB with 16, 8 and 7. They got 11 from Pritchard and 11 from Horford off the bench. But here's the thing. This was really close to like 2 years ago Boston Celtics. They're up 5 with 20 seconds left, and somehow CJ McCollum missed a layup to win the game. They had like 2 missed free throws and then a 5-second violation. Honestly, there's 2 violations that we got to talk about from last night. One is the 5-second violation that the Celtics had. And then Isaiah Collier of the Utah Jazz. We're not going to talk about the Jazz a lot, but just real quick. And I don't know how many people were watching Utah-Brooklyn, because while that was going on, Washington in Tampa was playing the only good football game of the weekend. Isaiah Collier, in a tie game with like 10 seconds left, dribbling the ball up court with no defensive pressure from Brooklyn, got an 8-second violation. I'll be honest, 8-second violations and 5-second violations I thought were created just for like children's basketball. I'm amazed every time it happens in the professionals or even in college. An 8-second violation is wild. It was like Utah and Brooklyn just like passing the like hot potato to see like, no, we're tanking, you're tanking, we're tanking, you're tanking. Just incredible stuff. Anyways, but the Pelicans, so they lose this game 120-119. Celtics were a little shaky. I don't know what this means for Zion. Like, the Pelicans are so bad, man. They did get a win this weekend, but they are so bad. Yeah, Sexton so Joseph says I'm on Sexton's side. What the fuck was Collier doing? Yeah, for those that don't know, there's a great replay of Sexton just kind of like holding Collier, being like, "What are you doing?" It was great. People slept on the move from 10 seconds to 8 seconds. It makes a big difference. I mean, yeah, I guess for people that aren't paid millions of dollars, it would be one thing if they had like Nick Claxton doing this in the defensive stance in the backcourt, but instead nobody was there. And it's really like 8.8 seconds, right? Because you got to get all the way to 9 before they call it. Yeah, I think it happened like 10 years ago. It happened a while ago. But anyways, I want to make fun of something else now, because the 76ers, I got a question. We'll go full screen. Is Joel Embiid ever going to play basketball again? Ever? I thought we had like a good flow going where he's going to play one game, he's not going to play a game. He's been questionable for like the last 4 games and like just refusing to play basketball at this point. I'm sure he's not healthy. I'm sure it's not he doesn't want to play basketball. I'm just like joke. I can't figure out what's going on in Philadelphia right now. Now, so Philly had 2 games this weekend. Let's look at Friday first. Because Friday is a crime. It was a crime on Friday. Look at this raw. Like, the Pelicans beat the Pelicans. 8 wins on the entire season. Win this game 123-115 on the road in Philadelphia. Look at this starting 5. Yves Missy, the rookie from Baylor that was supposed to be a project that was going to impact the team 3 years from now. CJ McCollum, DeJounte Murray, Javonte Green, who somebody texted me over the weekend saying, I had no idea Javonte Green was still in the league, and Jordan Hawkins. These are the bench. Daniel Tice, shout out Greg Dunbar, Jose Alvarado, Brandon Boston Jr., Jeremiah Robinson Earl. Okay? Now, I know they're without Embiid. They still have Maxey and Paul George. So Philly loses this game 123-115. And then they turn around and yesterday, they play the Orlando Magic. And again, let's look at the Magic starting five. The Magic had Cole Anthony, Mr. Timms, go for, what was it? 29. No, excuse me. Cole Anthony goes for 27 points. Paolo Banchero still on a minute restriction. So yes, Paolo is back, still on a minute restriction. He had 20 points, 8 boards, 6 times in 27 minutes. Also, love that Paolo's back. Tristan da Silva started the game, got hurt in the first minute. He was out. Goga Batazzi only played 12 minutes. Cole Anthony, and I'm sorry, if you don't play SORARE NBA, you've never heard of Caleb Houston before. That's the only reason you know him, is if you're playing a game like SORARE NBA. Then Jonathan Isaac turned into, I don't know if he was wearing his Make America Great Again hat and put up 20 and 11 or what. But Wendell Carter Jr., Corey Joseph, the corpse of Corey Joseph, played 16 minutes. Trevelyan Queen, and then Anthony Black. And the Sixers lose both of these games. They are now 15 and 22. 37 games. They are 37 games into the NBA season. They are still not even in the fucking play-in. It's incredible. It's incredible. And I don't want to have this conversation right now. Tesla said the Sixers are the warning signal to other teams trying to build a big three in the current cap environment. Or you got to build a big three of 3 people that are playing. Maxey should not be in an all-star game. I don't know. I feel like Stan right now is just lubed up on Tyler Hero. I'll give you a hero drop, but you're lubed up. Listen, I know Stan's riding high after the Matt Roth takedown, but sometimes you got to put him in his place. But I understand they didn't have Embiid, but man, they got to win one of those 2 games. I don't think that's a crazy take that you got to win one of those 2 games. The New Orleans Pelicans and the the Magic, dude, the zombie Magic, bro. They're incredible. Is Nick Nurse going to get fired? Put that out there. I'm not rooting for anybody to lose their job, but we're, again, halfway through the season, and I know they've been without Embiid, but, remember when everybody was, just, oh, my God, can you believe they got Caleb Martin? Oh, my God, Yabusele? They got Yabusele and Caleb Martin? And Eric Gordon? And everybody was like, this is the best offseason in the history of basketball offseasons. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time. Yeah, this is good. I like this. Let's check out the absolute gauntlet of a schedule of the Philadelphia 76ers, who again, I don't know how many games Embiid's played. Stop voting him into the All-Star game. All right, let's see. Here we go. Third in the Atlantic Division is hilarious at 15 and 22. Upcoming games. Here we go. Oh, my God. Home against OKC. Home against the Knicks. Away against the Pacers, Bucks, Denver, Cleveland. Then they get Chicago, Lakers, Kings, Denver, Boston, Dallas, Miami, Detroit, Milwaukee, Toronto. Okay, so Toronto, Tuesday, February 11th is when the next time the 76ers are going to win a basketball game. Oh, my God. So let me ask this again. Is Nick Nurse coaching this team after the All-Star break? I don't know. Who else are they going to blame? Podcast P? Also, Paul George out there just a quote machine right now. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was just like, I'm bored out here guarding the 5. All right, Paul, try winning some basketball games. Maybe you'll have a better time. Oh, man, they're screwed. They are screwed. Trade Paul George for Butler. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Incredible stuff, though. Incredible stuff from them. Let's keep bouncing around the league here. What else did we miss over the weekend? Let's go back to the scores. There was another team that I was excited to talk about. The Denver Nuggets had 2 games this weekend. Russell Westbrook, guys, I think everybody has, I know We the People hasn't been here in a while, but he was like Russ's number 1 stan. And you know what? In the words of Dashboard Confessional, vindicated, I am roses, I am wrong. Russell Westbrook, man, Just great shit here. He has been awesome. Aaron Gordon, by the way, finally made his return on a minutes restriction. But Russ has been in the starting lineup, playing 30-plus minutes a game. He had 21, 10, and 7 in this win over Dallas. Now, Dallas, of course, who cares? They're without Luka. They're without Kyrie. Dallas is just trying to, white knuckle this, hold on to try to still be in good shape by the time Luka and Kyrie came back. Klay Thompson, for what it's worth, knocked down 6 triples. He had 25. And then on Jokic's side of things, he had 19, 18, and 9, another monster Jokic game. But I want to go to Friday. Now, Friday, they played the Brooklyn Nets. Who cares? But for the second time this season, 2 teammates both had triple doubles, and this time it was Russ and Jokic. And in this win, they win 124-105. Look at Jokic's stat line in 38 minutes. He had 35 points, 15 dimes, 12 boards, also had 4 steals, only 1 turnover, goes 1 for 1 from 3, 14 for 21 from the field, shooting 50%. Russ, in 36 minutes, 8 for 17 from the field, even knocked down 2 triples, only 2 turnovers, had 25 points, 11 boards, and 10 dimes. Russ has been awesome. He really has. He really has. And it's like Jokic, again, it just makes everybody around him a little bit better, man. He really does. Russ this season here is in 37 games. He's averaging 12 points, 7 dimes, and 5 boards, shooting 45% from the field. 32% from 3 isn't great, but it's also not terrible as long as he's not shooting on volume. And now it's just like you can kind of allow Jamal Murray to slowly get healthy, right? And if we look at the standings here with Denver, they've now moved, what are they, 7-3 in their last 10? 7-3 in their last 10. They are now only a game and a half behind the Grizzlies. That's bad. Yeah, game and a half behind the Grizzlies, 2.5 behind the Rockets, a game and a half lead over Dallas, 2 games over the Lakers, just a little bit of a cushion. And let's look at their upcoming schedule here for Denver, who, again, like Jokic, man, I know it's boring to give him the MVP, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, all of the metrics, checks all of the boxes, right? And I'm fine if they give it to him this year because OKC is going to win 150 basketball games. They're going to be the 1 seed in the West in a tougher conference. I'm fine with it. I love Shai. Shout out Canada, the real Maple Jordan. Jokic is the best player in the world. It's fucking insane. All right, here we go. Upcoming games. They got Dallas again on TNT on Tuesday. Then they got a back-to-back home against the Rockets. Then they go to Florida for Miami, Orlando, and then Philly, Sacramento, Minnesota, Chicago. So that's the upcoming schedule for the Denver Nuggets. But they're playing good basketball right now. It's fun to see. Let's go back to some of the weekend action. I know I'm missing there were some other big ones that I wanted to talk about. We mentioned the Kings. We made fun of the Magic. Hey, guys, Mark Williams is back. Okay. And I know Phoenix won. They won 2 games this weekend. We should get excited about them. And you know what? I will talk about them in a second. Okay. Yeah, but that Jokic argument also means LeBron should have had like 10 MVPs. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Which MVPs that LeBron didn't get should he have gotten? Which ones? I mean, the difference is Jokic is the best player in the world and still putting up the best individual stats in the world. But whatever. I'm here for it. All right, let's look at Mark Williams, man. Let's look at Mark Williams. Mark Williams last night in 29 minutes, 9 for 12 from the field, 6 for 10 from the line. Are you ready for this? 24 points, 16 boards, 4 dimes, and a block. One of the funniest things that I saw happen last night. So Mark Williams, I think, had 6 rebounds in the first half. In the first quarter. He finished the first half in 22 minutes, I think. In 16 minutes, he had 22 points, 13 boards. That was in the first half, 22 and 13. So it's a little bit quieter in the second half. To start the second half, Phoenix went small, and I thought that was the funniest thing. And then in the first 2 possessions, I think Mark Williams had like 2 buckets and 2 boards. Phoenix, though, it is clear Jusuf Nurkic is not going to be on this team next week. Jusuf Nurkic got a DNP again, I believe, right? I'm not even seeing him on the list. Got a DNP for the second straight game. They started Plum Dog, who only played 15 minutes. I will say, man, Oso Ighodaro, who I apologize if I'm pronouncing that name incorrectly. I know this is wins against Utah and Charlotte. Really good, man. He played really well for them. Seemed to fit in nicely. Bradley Beal Again, probably not going to be on this team long unless he wants to because he's in charge. He had 15 off the bench with also 6 dimes. But it was the Booker and KD show. They combined for 57 points. A really solid fourth quarter. I mean, Charlotte just fell apart here. 7-point win, but they outscored Charlotte by 12 here in the second half. LaMelo, too, I glossed over him. LaMelo had a pretty solid game as well. He had 25 points, 11 dimes. You got 21 from Miles Bridges as well, and 19 and 6. But Phoenix, let's just stay on them because I mentioned that game against Utah as well. I'm not super comfortable with these performances. Again, another close win against Utah, and it's not like this was a back-to-back on the road. Both of these games are at home. They win this one by 8. I mean, Utah's trying to lose, right? Lowry hit him for 24. Sexton had 20. Kessler had 16 and 13 in this one. And for the Phoenix side of things, KD and Booker combined for 59 points. And then Bradley Beal, Grayson Allen got into double digits. Yusuf Nurkic didn't play in this one as well. So Nurk's definitely going somewhere else, right? Nurk is definitely going somewhere else. Regulator said it's taking time for Hornets to figure out the new system. This is fine, though. I mean, you don't want Charlotte to be good right now, right? You just want to know. This is similar to what we've been seeing with Detroit, except Detroit's a year ahead of you guys. You just want LaMelo to play a full season healthy. Brandon Miller, Mark Williams, and I guess Miles Bridges. But you just want to know you have a core of young guys moving forward. Get another pick and then go from there. I haven't opened my SORARE rewards yet. No. We'll do that at the end. We'll do it at the end. But yeah, anyways, Phoenix now, let's go back to the standings here. They've strung together some W's. They have now moved back to 500 here, along with the Golden State Warriors, who, due to tiebreakers, are outside of the play-in right now. And again, it feels early to be standings hunting. But again, 38 games in. We're almost at the halfway point. And Golden State right there at 500 as the 11 seed. And you see Clippers and Lakers should, let's do a schedule note here for tonight. Looks like, again, no guarantee. I mean, Dave McMenamin of ESPN tweeted out that they're going to resume action tonight between Lakers and Spurs, which makes me think Clippers and Heat are also going to play. All of those games were postponed over the weekend. I don't know. There's part of me that thought maybe it was going to get postponed as well, but here's the action we have for tonight. We got T-Wolves and Wizards. Nice. Can't wait. T-Wolves favored by 13.5. This will be a fun game. Jalen Brunson's questionable, but Detroit against the Knicks. They are 7.5 point spread there. That's a fun one. Then you got Warriors and Raptors, which honestly, because of how the Warriors have been playing, I think they'll probably win this game, but it'll at least be some fantasy goodness here with Golden State. Then we got Memphis and Houston, which will be a fun one. 1.5 point spread, high total. Memphis plays fun games. You want a little fantasy nugget here? You just always play Memphis guys, but you find the guys playing against Memphis. They've played some really exciting games here. Memphis had a good win over Minnesota, by the way. Minnesota, man, I don't know what they're doing. Ooh, Jay Bourne in the chat says Pistons to cover. I lose all my Pistons bets. Are you going to this one, Justin? I don't know if Justin was watching the show. Was that on Friday? We were shouting him out for his woodpecking capabilities while he was courtside for the Brooklyn Nets Pistons. But yeah, Memphis has been fun, man. Memphis has been a fun team. Starting to get a little bit healthier here. And then Spurs, Lakers, Heat, Clippers. So that's tonight's action. I wanted to go to Tankathon here, the Tankathon website. Excuse me. And just look at strength of schedule here the rest of the way. I know we kind of talked about it with the 76ers and who was the other one? The 76ers and was it the Knicks? I can't remember. Or maybe the Knicks is the reason I wanted to look at it. All right, so this is the Tankathon website here. Let's look at I thought the strength of schedule was right at the top here. Now I feel like an idiot. Should have had this ready to go for the beginning. Let's see what more is. Oh, remaining strength of schedule. Here we go. So the strength. Listen, this is what I thought was kind of interesting. So strength of schedule here the rest of the way. Am I sharing the right screen? Yeah, I am. All right. So you'll see right here, Knicks with the most difficult schedule the rest of the way. 3 against the Cavs, 3 against the Celtics. Toughest schedule for the Knicks. I thought that was kind of interesting. And then you see Memphis, Phoenix, Houston, Detroit right there too. So that's not great. But we go to the flip side of it. The easiest one, you see the Raptors here, Wizards, Orlando. The reason I want to point this out is Knicks having one of the hardest schedules the rest of the way. Orlando, who again managed to weather the storm, somehow cut another win last night. They have Paolo coming back, and right now in a 4 seed, right, with 2.5 games behind. No, 3.5 games behind the Knicks, only a half game ahead of the Pacers, but one of the easiest schedules the rest of the way. So I thought that was good. Also, the Pacers now 7-3 in their last 10. They won 6 in a row. They also have one of the easier schedules the rest of the way. I did see Halliburton got dinged up last night. He didn't return, but it didn't matter. They won that game. We actually got to talk about that game. Indiana beat Cleveland last night. Cleveland was full strength, and Pacers were without Halliburton. They win this game 108-93. Wasn't even all that close. I mentioned Halliburton only played 19 minutes, 2 points, 5 dimes in that time. And what was interesting for Indiana is no one even went nuts. Like Siakam, 18-9, Turner, 15-10, Nembhard, 19-4, Mathurin had 12, Toppin had 12, Thomas Bryant had 11. And then again, Cleveland full strength. Now, this isn't sounding alarms for Cleveland. They're 33-5 and 20-2 at home. But I do think the Pacers, who, shout out our show, Hoop Sense, with Trey Edwards, we kept putting them in the 30-second timeout category because they've been so bad and just seemed like lost, right? Their offense couldn't figure it out. Their defense. Cleveland, who's been beating the piss out of everyone they've played, was held to under 100 points. I don't have that information in front of me, but I feel like that probably hasn't happened more than twice this season. So Indiana now, I'm going to pull up, I know you can't see it, but some of their most recent wins here, right? Wins over, in this stretch here, they beat the Heat, the Suns, the Nets, the Bulls, the Warriors, the Cavs. They play the Cavs again tomorrow night, but this time at home. We'll have to wait and see what the Halliburton injury is. But to see that their schedule here, one of the easiest ones the rest of the way, I think the East is going to be fun here. And I want to just point it out because I do think the Milwaukee's and 76ers of the world, who have a little bit tougher schedules, not hard schedules, but tougher schedules. And I think everybody just keeps assuming they're going to snowball and catch up and make up ground. And I don't know. I don't know if that is happening. So let's do a mock draft here, though. Let's see who's getting Cooper Flag or AJ, whatever his name. Let's do a mock draft. Let's sim the lottery right here. So they have Cooper Flag going 1, Dylan Harper 2, Ace Bailey, Igor. We got an Igor at BYU. Wow. All right, Igor. Shout out Igor. VJ, Kasparis, Nolan. All right, I'm yelling these names like I know them all. Here we go. Let's sim the lottery. Oh, Raptors get Cooper Flag. Congrats to Toronto. All right, let's poke around some underdogs, some SORARE. Let's find some things to gamble on. Let's do SORARE first because I think I can open up my essence. We had a pretty good week over on SORARE. Actually, we'll do this now. Whoa, that's weird. I feel like I'm floating. Let's do this. There we go. Yeah, we had a pretty good week on the SORARE here. I'll show you before I open them here. I feel like I'm saying here a lot. Let's go to this past week just to show you what we were working with here. We didn't do well in limited, but in rare, so we finished 41st here in the rare champ. Jokic going for 99. PJ kind of disappointed here. We get 61 and 67 from Paul George's book, and then Keon Ellis. So 41st, we won $50 in a 4-star box. We finished 20th in the rare contender in season. Asar, Din Shitty. We put Giannis in there, Guy Santos, and Butterhead. Then we finished, no, we didn't get one over there. And then underdog here, we finished 74th for another 4-star. Shout out Nikola Jovic, who I didn't talk about the Miami Heat. Jovic balled out the other night. We got this with Brandon Williams getting a 0. And then rare champ, I think we got one too, a 1-star over here. So those are our rewards. Pretty solid week for the boys. But yeah, let's open this stuff. Then we'll go over to underdog. We'll try to pick some winners here, some winners. Let's claim the rewards. Oh, yeah. Let me put the headphones on just in case you get some sick bops. There we go. $50 cash, baby. Let's go to the boxes. Straight cash, homie. All right, let's see. What do we got here? This is rare. I want to do the 1-star box first, right? We're going to save the 4-star. All right, let's see what we got here. Essence. Bang, bang. 2 rare capsules. There we go. Lots of fun. 2 rare capsules. Let's do a 4-star. This is for Rare Underdog. Essence. 3. All right, that's kind of lame. So we're up 5 so far. 5 Essence so far. Come on, bang, bang. Let's see. Oh, 8 Essence total. This is kind of a little bit of a kick in the tuchus here. Let's see what this one is. Woo! 3. Oh, man, a bunch of 3 balls. That was, I think we kind of ran cold there, right? What are we at now? We're at 126. There we go. 126, baby. Let's go over to the underdog. Let's find some picks for today. While I pull this up, too, just a reminder, here's what we got going on for the rest of the week. Also, speaking of Justin, we got to figure out the next 89 Cavs episode. I got Old Man Hoops on Wednesday. We got Old Man Hooping on Wednesday, which I'm excited about. I'm starting to, all right, it still feels like I've smoked cigarettes when I play basketball, even though I've never smoked anything where my lungs are on fire. But stamina's building up a little bit. Stamina's building up a little bit. Feeling better. Shot looks a lot better than the results. That's what I'll say. Shot looks a lot better than the results. Yeah, maybe we can do, I don't know, maybe we can do like an early afternoon one. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out the Cavs this week. I got to send a text. I meant to do that over the weekend. But I'm behind logistically. I'll be honest. I'm behind logistically. All right. Let's see what we got for some underdogs. Let's see what we got for some picks here. Been kind of ice cold. I got smoked on football picks this weekend. What about we got some, let's see, some Ja Morant over 6.5 dimes, maybe? Maybe we do a little bit of that. Some 6.5 dimes from Ja Morant. Let's see what that line looks like. Again, I really like this Houston-Memphis game. Yeah, 6.5 dimes. Let's do that. Let's start with that. What does the chat have? I need some help building today. Where are the builders at? Where do you hoop? All over the place. So the game on last week's game was at John Jay University, and it was actually a pretty nice gym. That was good. The only thing I hated, though, is you could tell the width of the court wasn't right because it was you know what's insane? So this was an NBA 3-point line, but not all of the courts are NBA 3-point lines. So I was warming up, and I felt like I was losing my mind. And then I had asked, I was like, okay, what the hell? But I'm playing at some Seward High School, but it's a bunch of different high schools, sometimes colleges. It's like a rotating thing. The it really does mess me up. It really does mess me up. But our team's not very good. Although this new guy joined ours, or he just not new. He was on the team. He missed the first game, showed up for the second game. He was a little rusty, but he's going to be good. He's going to be good. It's just nice where you have like a tall wing that like knows how to attack the basket. That's going to be fun. It's exciting. But we're not very good, but everybody's very nice. I enjoy it. Also, this is, something that happens when you get older. Nice to have a weekly thing that I go do. All right? It's good for me. It's good for the brain. The deviation in court size is, I don't understand it either, man. I don't know. Well, we were also playing on like but even if it was their practice court, you would still think, anyways, whatever. We're talking about it too much. Let's find some W's here. Let's find some W's in the chat. Homie says, do you play golf? Yeah, I do. Not enough, though. But I did. You know what? My parents love golf. They play a lot. That's like a nice thing to be able to go do with them, which I really like. But they got me some irons. They got me a set of irons for Christmas. So I am going to play. That was I'm going to find, I think like Forest Hills has a relatively cheap course in Queens. I'm going to try to play once a week this year. That's going to be my goal because I really do like it. I like that it gets me off my phone for like 3 or 4 hours. I like being outside and I yell a lot. That's good too. How tall? He's probably 6'4", 6'5". He's tall. He's like legit tall, not just next to me, 5'7" tall, but he's like legit tall. But all right, anyways, let's too much talk about my athleticism. Let's find a couple of W's here. So I kind of like Scotty Barnes today. I I like Scotty Barnes to do some stuff. 5.5 dimes feels fun. Or actually, what's his rebounds look like? 8.5 rebounds. Let's do that. 8.5 boards for Scotty. I feel like he's gonna have a fun time getting boards. I also am interested in quickly dimes, or we can go back to Old Faithful. Cade triple double, right? Oh yeah, look at that. Rock hard. 43x, baby. Come on. Golf only exists because men aren't comfortable going on walks together. That is fun. I know I like golf. I do enjoy it. I enjoy it. Back when I lived in Massachusetts, I played a lot more frequently. I would play solo a lot too. That was before I was comfortable going to therapy. I was like, I need to be by myself in nature where it's quiet. All right, let's do this. This is fun. I like this one. Cade Cunningham triple-double while the Pistons cover in a loss. Shout out Justin. I got to put it on my phone, though, because it always yells at me. So we got to do a Cade triple-double. Also, we could do a double. No, let's do a triple-double. Let's live. We did Barnes over on boards. And then we did Ja over on dimes, right? It's 43x. I almost want to throw a football play in there as well. Do turnovers count for Cade? Yeah, I know, right? Then we put in a quadruple double. All right, we're going to do 15. 15 to win 654. All right, there we go. That's our pick 'em for today. All right, hey, couple of housekeeping things. I started doing that, and then I got distracted because I remember the 89 Cavs haven't done our show in a week. Vikes or Rams? I think the Vikes are going to win. Skull! I think the Vikes are going to win. But I don't have any strong takes about it. I'm just excited we get football on. That would be honestly, yeah, man. You know what? For how much you fucking have to pay for therapy, yeah, you should be able to golf with your therapist. That's going to be season 3 of Shrinking. Live before lock, we're back at 5 p.m. Live after dark at 7 p.m. NBA bid again on Wednesday. I'm going to try to get a recorded video out, try to get some more shorts out this week too. We got to lock in. At Live Before Lock. But yeah, make sure you tune in this afternoon. Oh, Drunk Tree. We got a Drunk Tree sighting. Let's go. What is this, 2021? Drunk Tree in the house. Look at that. That's a good doggo right there, Drunk Tree. Just in time as we wrap up. Do me a favor. If you haven't liked the stream already, do that. If you haven't subscribed, it's your first time here. Thanks for hanging out. Let's get our Cade triple-double. Let's print today, okay? Start calling this HP the way we're going to start printing up in here. All right, have a good Monday. We outskis.